And I've had employee contracts along the way where I've taken short-term contracts and things like that. But it's really taught me that you can do anything that you put your mind to, absolutely anything. And I echo what everybody else has said, that no one else is coming to save you. That after going from having a husband, no matter how little he helped with the children anyway, moving into a house where the gas bottle was turned off too tight and I had to try and work out how to get it loose by myself without ringing and going, can you please come past and fix the gas bottle? Because my dad doesn't live here. I don't know anyone that I could just ring and say, hey, can you come and undo my gas bottle? No one was coming to save me, and no one was coming to save my kids. They needed a responsible adult in their life that was going to give them a great example and life skills. And those two kids, I shared this morning, I'm now going through a separation with the person that I've been with for 4 years, who that's more than half of my son's life. So for them, it's a marriage divorce again. But everyone keeps asking, how are the kids? My son, he's struggling. My daughter, she's just like, okay, do we have to take the annoying dog? No, we don't. She's sad that we have to leave the good dog. But she's just kind of like, okay, so where are we moving to? What stuff do we get to take this time? And, what is that going to look like? And I've showed them where we're likely to move to and all that. And she's great. She's just like, okay, bring it on.
Yeah, well, and you're showing them so much about resilience and starting again and having the courage to change things when things aren't the way that they should be.
Absolutely. If you're not happy in your situation and the people who are around you are not willing to work with you to improve it, go and find a good situation. That's where I'm at the moment. I made the call this time. I wasn't happy and I wasn't getting the support that I needed. And being this loud, feminist, not domestic goddess person is not the right fit for that person. And that person's expectations of me is not the right fit for me. So you can change your situation. You're in charge of that. There are some things that are out of our control, but you're in charge of your life. You're in charge of your destiny. And be your own damn white knight.
Oh my God, I love that.
I'm going to put that on a shirt.
T-shirt. Be your own damn white knight. I love it. It's true. We don't have to stay stuck in any situation, whether that's, a 9-to-5 job or a marriage that isn't working, a relationship with a friend or family member that's not working. You always.
Or your business the way it is. If you don't like the way your business is, change it. Linda pivoted. She had to because she had COVID, but you can pivot at any time. And if I hear that one word again, I'm going to go nuts, but I'm going to say it. If you don't like the way that your business is run and it's not working for you and you don't want to give it up, then pivot. You can change. Doesn't matter. To hell with your clients in the way that they're used to it. Look at Louise. Everyone wanted her, but now they get used to it. They get used to it. So just pull the big girl panties on and make the change.
Yeah. I love that confidence. It's all about backing yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much to all of you for being here. Before we wrap up, I'd just love to let you share where we can get in touch with you. So Rebecca, where's the best place to find you?
So the same name across Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and my website. It's just Rebecca Corbett. So www.rebeccacorbett.com.au.
Beautiful. Yona, how can we find you?
On Instagram and Facebook, I'm at kaya.services, and that's also our website too.
Beautiful. Thank you. Linda, where do we find you?
Okay, you can find me at either Poppy's Chocolate, Poppys, chocolate.com, or we're just setting up a website for myself, which is lindapedder.com, which is LYNDA.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Louise, where do we find you?
www.goddessdayspa.com.au and also on Instagram and Facebook.
Beautiful, thank you. And now I'm going to hand over to Nicola for her presentation. Nicola, take it away.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Peace. I'm just checking that you can see my screen.
Looks beautiful.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me. Great to see you all. My name's Nicola Lievre, and I am owner of intherapy, Ethical Beauty in Brisbane. We are a global award-winning salon, and we stick really close to our core values, which are ethical, sustainable, Australian-made, as well as supporting our local community. So we are celebrating our 20th birthday this year, which is super exciting. I've owned a salon for going on 7 years. And before that, I actually managed the salon for 4.5 years. So that transition going from kind of manager to owner has had its challenges, but nevertheless navigated through that. So my journey really started in beauty from the age of 6 years old. I always knew I wanted to be in the beauty industry, and I used to go with my mum when she had her legs waxed back in South Africa, which was like back in the, God, I think 80s then. So I used to go with her to have her legs waxed. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And that's when I decided I was going to be a beauty therapist. And I used to wander around the pharmacy, which was super safe in those days. And I used to look up at the Clinique and Estee Lauder woman and look up at them and go, oh, one day I'm going to be you, like you with the bright lips. And that was just the best thing for me. And the funny thing is, fast forward, after school, I went to study beauty at Camelot Academy, which is an elite beauty school in Johannesburg, South Africa, which is where I'm originally from. And I went on to work for Estee Lauder when I was 18, and it was an amazing experience. I learned so much. So I actually, ironically, turned into that Estee Lauder girl. And yes, I went on to work on cruise ships. I managed spas on cruise ships. I met my husband on board cruise ships. We immigrated to Australia back in 2017. I had this dream of opening a Balinese day spa in South Africa. And unfortunately, I was held up at gunpoint in South Africa, and that was obviously a life-changing experience. So from that, the good that's come out of that is I immigrated to Australia. My father, God bless him, today is actually his birthday. He's passed. And yeah, it's funny, I forgot it was his birthday today, actually. And I always had this dream of moving to Australia when I was a little girl. And I used to fight with my mum and say, I'm moving to Dad to Australia. And here I am. And I believe I am just where I need to be and doing exactly what I need to do. But I'm here today to tell you that it's okay to be yourself, and it's okay to be different. And the only person that needs to believe in you is you. And once you can wrap your head around that, like the saying goes, the truth will set you free. So I would really love for you to grab a notebook and pen, and we can chat a little bit about the slides we're going to go through. So grab a notebook and pen, and we're going to have some question time at the end. So like my quote said, I finally found a way to put my head down, not concern myself what others are doing around me. And doing this has been so much less stressful. I don't want to strive to be the best in my industry, whatever that looks like. I just want to be known to be different. And it's so funny because we're raised being, it's bad to be different. Don't be different. Just fit in with everybody else. And, you know, you won't get bullied or this won't happen. But things have turned around, and it's cool to be different, and it's okay to be different. But in saying that, you're responsible for everything that happens in your life. And once you can wrap your head around, you need to live in a place where myself and my little coaching group like to call 100/0. So you are 100% responsible for everything that happens in your life, and you need to make zero excuses. And once you can actually get out of your way and realize that this is your life and you are responsible for it. And like I said on the slide here, 10% what happens to you and 90% about what you do about it. And we all get reactive from time to time, and when we're placed in a position where we're feeling uncomfortable or vulnerable, it's okay to take a step back and say, if someone puts you and asks you a really, confronting question, it's okay to step back and say, I'm going to get back to you with that answer. Just give me a couple of hours. It's okay to say that. And I think that's a really valuable tool to learn. I certainly, with myself, if something happens and I get super angry and then kind of just belt out things, it's no good for anybody. And then afterwards you live with that, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. But if you can actually just take a step back, take a big breath and give it some time, you'll find things could work out more in your favor. So we're going to unpack a few things today. I'm just going to try, jumping again behind myself now. I just wanted to bring some attention to the slide here. And this is my branding colors. And you can see the red lipstick swatch. And if you watched the presentation earlier, part of my branding is red lipstick. I've even got it on my shirts today, supporting our local Australian brands. But for the most part of my life, I felt like I was not good enough. And I'm sure so many of you can resonate with that. And we're going to go a bit into limiting beliefs a bit later. But when I grew up, I had a group of friends that made me feel like I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't the popular girl. I was kind of always the girl, the shy girl that was in the background. I was friends with everybody. I wasn't popular. I wasn't super geeky, but I was just kind of flew under the radar. I guess I was afraid I didn't want to get noticed. And funny enough, that's when I used to wear all my nude lipstick. Okay, except when I worked for Estee Lauder, because for those of you from the 90s will remember that the plum and the aubergine was very in the day. But for the most part growing up, I just wanted to be under the radar and not be noticed, because if no one noticed me, I couldn't have any attention drawn to me and, be bullied or anything like that. But now that I am in my 40s, I've learned a couple of lessons along the way. I thought, and I don't actually know how this started. One day I just put on that red lipstick and I thought, what, the hell with it. I'm going to wear this red lipstick and I'm going to rock it. And I've worn red lipstick ever since. And I'm really well known in the beauty industry for having my red lipstick, as well as being an icon because of my red lipstick. And that's really cool, because I grew up idolizing all these women, especially like Elizabeth Taylor with the red lipstick and Coco Chanel. So I find that really cool, and it's good that I can resonate that into my brand. So that's a little bit about that. So you are not enough. We all feel that. I think it's a daily struggle. I see it with my mum, who is in her 70s. I see it with my 9-year-old girl. But you are not enough is actually a lie someone said, or did something to you to make you feel that you're not enough. And quite often this is something that happened back in your childhood that you might not even remember. But that is a lie. Okay, you are enough. And this is just a limiting belief. And once you can break through this limiting belief, and I know a lot of us authors have certainly gone through that, you'll find that you will pivot, as well as your business will pivot. Now, if you're going to be successful, I believe you need to come and make peace with the term that not everybody's going to like you. Now, I'm a people pleaser, so I like to be liked. And I like to make people happy. That's what I do every day. I make women feel look amazing, and I empower other women. But it's time that we all take a step back and realize that we are enough. And that's just yourself getting in your own way. And once you can get over that obstacle, you will see that your life will change. And I think all of us authors in the book are really wanting to inspire everybody with our story and help and give you some tangible tools so that you can move forward. But you are enough. And I believe that you have everything in you that you need, and you have something valuable to contribute. You just need to dig deep into yourself and be completely honest with yourself. Get out of your own way, back yourself. And it's really hard because I blame social media a lot on it. Because when you look at social media, it's so easy to compare yourself to others. And everybody looks like they're living their best life, and you know, these amazing photos, and you look at friends and they're out and you think, gee, everybody seems to have their self together. Why don't I feel like that? Well, it's really important that you don't compare yourself to others, because everybody is going through their own battles. They just don't show it. So a lot of it is smoke and mirrors, and it's very easy to get bought into that kind of trap. And you really need to tap into the fact and look for opportunities. And if someone's done something to you that makes you feel like you're not good enough, the problem often lies with them and not with you. And I really believe that you have everything you need to be the person you're meant to be and to be the best version of yourself. But you really need to work hard, and don't be afraid to ask for help. And go back to, and if it's the one message that you can take away today is, and it's been really difficult in my 20s, 30s, and even in my 40s to realize that you cannot control what others say and think about you. You just can't. And once you get over that and work really hard and ask for help, but also have some really honest conversations with yourself, you'll find that, and the saying says, the truth will set you free. But I really do believe that you need to not buy into this lie that you've been building and the story you've been creating in your head. You are enough. You just need to go within and find this power. And our book, I really think, is going to give you some clarity around that. So thank you for purchasing, by the way, everybody that's watching. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you watch the other speakers that presented earlier, because all our stories really resonate nicely with each other, I believe. Now, I love this quote by Coco Chanel. In order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different. Now, a couple of questions, and I just want you to jot these down and have a little think about it, is number one, what makes you stand out in your community? What makes you a flamingo amongst a flock of pigeon, as the saying goes, or a unicorn in a, I don't know, paddock of horses, or whatever you want to say. So that's the first thing. What makes you different? Why does somebody want to buy or shop with you or do business with you opposed to somebody else in your industry? Now, I can only speak from my industry, which is flooded and very noisy. And I've learned that just being yourself and being uniquely you is enough. And bringing your personality and your brand, I understand there might be people watching here that aren't as confident or as outgoing. Obviously, I'm from the beauty industry, so we're speakers, we're people, but I really believe bringing your personality through your brand is really, really important. So what makes you stand out in your community? What makes your business unique? Why should somebody shop with you and not with somebody else? What is your mission? As business owners, we all have our mission statements and visions. And are you shaping your decisions around your core brand values? So I'll just quickly go through these just so that you're kind of clear on what each means. And I'm just going to refer back to my business. So what makes us stand out in a community is that we're so involved in our community. We are literally on different forums. We do an RSBCA cupcake day every day, which is huge. Last year we raised $15,000. We get out, we talk to people, and I support other local businesses. So really what I do is go out and I do some Facebook Lives, and I go to other businesses. How can I help you? And I just get out in the community. And that's one of my core values. Also, what makes us unique, I believe, is that we have the whole cruelty-free, sustainable, ethical vibe going on. everybody can add their own twist on that, but you really need to figure out, and I know there could be some people watching who don't have their own business yet. It's really important that you nut these out. If you're an existing business owner, it's always good to review these and just check that everything still aligns with yourself and your business. On that note, it's also really important to hire staff who believe in these values. For example, I personally would not hire somebody who is not an animal lover and against animal cruelty. That's just something that really resonates deep with me as a person as well as a business owner. What is your mission? What do you want to achieve? For me, I want to make women look and feel amazing every single day. So, and make people happy. So that's my mission. And are you supporting your decisions around your brand values? So what is your values, or what are your negotiables and non-negotiables? For me, it's definitely ethical, sustainable, as well as how is things benefiting our community? Is this something that's supporting our local Australian brands? I'm very big on supporting Australian brands, and I certainly think this year with everything that's happened, it's super, super important. If you can, shop local, shop small, and that's definitely the vibe we're sending out this Christmas as well. So I hope you see some value in those. You might take the afternoon to kind of think about it, but jot them down, screenshot them, I don't mind, and check in with yourself and check in with your staff. Make sure your staff understand all this as well. That's very, very important. And also that you put it out there to your guests, your clients, your customers, that you're saying, hey, do you know these are our values? This is our ethos. This is what we do. This is what we kind of our negotiables and non-negotiables. And I think it's really healthy to put that out there to the public. And when I first bought my business, I was very like, yeah, we're a great beauty salon with a great reputation, but I hadn't really found out why are we different. And now that I've found all these, really cemented us in the industry, our business has just pivoted. You need to know who you are. So I'd like to dive deep a little bit more into brand values. And that's a picture of me last year at Cupcake Day. We raised $15,000. I was really proud. So we're very big into supporting Cupcake Day. We also do Share the Dignity. I also have started my own volunteer beauty therapist group called Tender Loving Beauties. We're on Facebook and Instagram. We support a charity called Hummingbird House. And Hummingbird House is Queensland's only children's hospice. So we go there every week and do treatments on the mums of really sick children. And that's something I do. And I believe that that's my legacy I'm leaving to the beauty industry. So that being said, that's just something really close about giving back in community, that your brand values are the foundation of your business. And you really need to be crystal clear on how you want people to feel. Now, maybe my spin on this, like I said, is because I'm from the beauty industry, but any industry, you need to think about the feeling. And I always say people like to buy from people. And I'm a bit old school. I like to still speak to someone on the phone and, have that personal contact, but you really want to establish very early on. And if you haven't established it yet, how do you want people to feel? So for me, when people walk into my business, I want them to feel happy. I want them to feel like it's a home away from home. We have this really classy boutique salon that's beautiful, but at the same token, I don't want our guests to walk in and feel like, we're stuffy or bitchy or anything like that. I want everyone to feel warm and welcome. So I've created that culture within my team. Again, everything we're talking about and being uniquely you can also go down different channels of being your team, being uniquely them, uniquely to your brand. So there can be a real spin on things here, but you need to find out how you want people to feel, the experience you want from start to finish. And you need to make sure that that feeling is brought across every channel in your business, whether it be your social media, whether it be your online shop, whether it be your podcast, whether it be whatever, you know, your posters in your salon, the message needs to be really seamless from start to finish, and the experience that your customer or guest or client has in your business needs to be really seamless from start to finish. Another cool thing I like to talk about in brand values is niching yourself. I think niching is a very cool word. I think we should make that very 2021. And I really believe in niching. So I know a lot of the other ladies in our group and authors have, and I didn't even know you could do this. There's accountants that niche in certain things. I'm learning. But like for me, the last couple of years in the beauty industry, everybody wants to be a skin clinic. Nobody wants to be a good old-fashioned traditional beauty therapist. But with my business, that's who we are. We're all-round traditional beauty therapy salon. Yes, we do have advanced age management solutions. We do have advanced facials. We do have all those things, but really we are a boutique beauty business, and we're classic and we're timeless. And you need to niche in what your business is good at. So when we go into the next slide now and going into the customers you want to attract, right? It's really hard to own a large space, I found. So what's really important, once you've worked out your brand values and your mission and all of that, and also, you know, what you want to be known for and what makes you different, and you can kind of relate that back down to your team. I want you to think about the customers you want to attract, because if you speak to everybody, you're going to speak to nobody. So really identifying what your who your core audience is. And for me, we like to break our audiences into a couple of different categories. So for example, we have our, you know, wealthy cool. So those are our younger guests who aren't married and have a disposable income and have really good jobs, and they just want to come in and look and feel pretty. Then we have our stressed out time poor women, which are quite often mums, which are probably a lot of us in the group, kids, busy, not a lot of time. So we can offer them really short, punchy, results-driven treatments, which is super exciting. But then we also have our mature savvy, which is our women, which are in the like kind of 55, 65 category, who potentially want to come in and have more of a relaxing treatment and, you know, can stay longer. So what we do is we cater our brand around that, and we don't take a cookie cutter approach. So for example, we get a stressed out time poor client who needs her nails done and needs a facial. So we'd have one of our girls doing a facial while the other one's doing the pedicure at the same time to be more time efficient. Our mature savvy, we know those guests like to come earlier and have a cup of herbal tea and a heat pack and just chill out for a minute. And we design our business around the customers we want to attract. So attracting more, potentially for us, our biggest demographic is our mature savvy. So our marketing and the way we speak through our channels is more towards your kind of 45, 65 category. So identifying what kind of people you want to attract. If you want to attract more young people, then you want to kind of go more on your social media and speak more in that language. So that's really important, because when you try and speak to everybody, you kind of get distracted. Now, just really quickly back to niching. I've noticed a lot of hair salons now, you get the ones that specialize in just blondes. And that's really cool. Not to say they can't do other hair colors or styles, but people who are just niching. So think about what you do the most of. Look at your reports, look at your, you know, we were talking earlier about, you know, 80% of your business comes from kind of 20% of your clients. So see what they are having. What are they booking in for? What are they buying? Doesn't matter what industry you are, and think about escalating that part of your business. So what's the demographic, whether you're talking to men or younger or whatever the case may be, where they are. Are they international? Are they in your state? I will tell you something clever is we're one of the only salons that have put up on our website a men's section. Now, we love having guys in our salon. We have straight, gay, doesn't matter. We love breaking it up a bit. And although our salon's really girly, the guys love coming in. They just love it because we make them feel welcome, and we don't make them feel like, hey, you're a guy and this is a women's space. But we have the same facial we do to our regular women. We have it, but turned into men's language. And that's really clever. So think about ways you can get creative. That goes back to what makes you stand out and what makes you different. We get lots of guys from Google just because we have that on our website. So that's really cool. What concerns do they have? And that goes back to how you want people to feel. Like, is it someone you're trying to solve a time problem or convenience problem or whatever the case is? And really look at how your business can support them. And again, I'll mention making sure your team are across the board with all of these is super, super important. Now, I'm just having a little look at my notes here. If you're just hopping in now, I am going to go into just one of my favorite things now, if that's okay. Someone is always going to hate on your ideas. And this is a very bittersweet lesson I've had to learn. I'm a people pleaser. I like to make people happy. But there is someone that is always going to hate your idea. And that's okay, right? So if you have 9 people coming into a room and you say, who's Nicola? 3 are going to say, I love Nicola. She's amazing. 3 are going to say, who the hell's Nicola? And 3 are going to say, hate her, don't like her, not for me. And that's okay. Once you can kind of go over this hurdle, your life will change. And it's taken me a long time to realize, and I'll go back to what I said earlier, you cannot control what people say or think about you. And it's another thing in business, you cannot control where people spend their money. So I've often beat myself up when we've had really loyal guests and they just disappear. And, you've done your follow-up calls and emails and all that kind of stuff, and they just don't come back. And it's really easy to say, what did we do wrong? What happened? What did we do wrong? What happened at the last appointment? Quite often, it's just life that happens. It's nothing you did wrong. It's just they moved on, they moved states, they were in a separation. And I don't know about everybody else in other industries, but certainly in our industry, in my salon, I found so many people through COVID have actually split relationships, and that's okay. But really understanding if you're going to be successful, you need to be okay with being different and go deep inside yourself. Find out what makes you unique and what makes your message unique. And you are never defined by what someone else says. What someone says about you is none of your business. Okay. And don't get distracted by that. I've certainly spent a lot of years being distracted by that. But you need to just look for the opportunities, what can help you grow into the best version of yourself, remembering you can't control what others think about you. And that's, again, I'll say it again, one of the biggest lessons I've learned. And specifically working with a lot of women, that has absolutely had its challenge. But you have everything you need inside you. You just need to back yourself, and you need to go inside and sit down and grab a pen and paper. In fact, I weekly set some time out for critical thinking. That's so important. And what else I write about in the book is surround yourself with like-minded people. You want to surround yourself with people that are better than you, I always say, more successful, people you can learn from. And if you're trying to do something, and that's for everybody here who's looking at opening a business or kind of changing their business, find someone who's doing something you want to do and ask them how they did it. And a lot of people are scared because they're like, what if I'm judged? What if they won't help me? Well, those people aren't your people. Find your people, find your tribe, find the women that are going to uplift you and inspire you. And again, I've really have found that with the Osmom group, but someone's always going to talk about you, and that's okay. You have everything that you need inside you. You need to own your decisions. Don't have your analysis paralysis, which I talk about a lot in the book. Own your decisions, own who you are without apology. And if you're comfortable to go against the grain, all you need to do is be nice to people, be kind, and go out in your unique awesomeness and just live your dream life. Because the reality is, if you're not doing that, there's somebody out there who is. And it only takes one bad life experience or losing someone you love, God bless my father, whose birthday is today, to losing someone you love, to realize that life is so short. So if you're not happy, like I think it was Rebecca said earlier, if you're not happy with what you're doing, change it. If you're not happy in your job, change it. Find out what really lights the fire in your belly. And for me, that is inspiring other women and making women feel and look amazing and be the best version of themselves, because everything you need is inside you. Just get out of your own way and out of your own head. Be uniquely you. It's okay and it's cool. It's cool to be different. I keep telling my 9-year-old, proximity equals power. Find your tribe. Find those people that are going to elevate you and make you want to be the best version of yourself. Stay in your lane. Turn off that bright, shiny object syndrome, being distracted by what other people are saying or doing. It serves you no purpose. In fact, what I recommend everybody does once in a while is do a social media detox. Just turn it off, because that is so distracting. And if you've got one of those things on your phone that tells you your screen time, it's really scary how much time we're wasting and energy on people that aren't serving us any purpose, or people that are doing something we want to do. Go out there. You're unique and awesome, and just do it. Back yourself, because living a life of getting up in the morning, doing the same grind, and just going out there and doing something you don't love is so sad. Go out there and support yourself. So if you're wanting to connect with me, you can find my emails, nicola@intherapy.com.au, and my Facebook is here as well, and my Instagram. And I also just wanted to leave you just here with 2 little elements. I really think it's cool to have a brand element. So obviously everybody knows me with my red lipstick, and that's kind of my signature, as you can see. But I also wanted to just very briefly talk to you about the Lotus Flower and just leave you with a really lovely message. And this is in my book, in our book. I say my book, but our book. So the Lotus Flower blooms most beautifully through the deepest and thickest mud. So like the lotus, and I really think this year that you'll resonate with this, like a lotus, go through the dirt and believe in the new beginnings. And this is why I have the Lotus Flower as one of my brand elements. So maybe, that's also something nice you want to think about. Maybe you didn't think before, was adding a little element into your brand that resonates with you. So I wanted to leave you with that. And I think it's relevant with everything we've gone through. And I know we're all sick about talking about COVID, but we've all had obstacles in our entrepreneurial journey. I also believe this is not, the key is not to let this bring you down, but emerge from the mud like the lotus and just go out there and live your dream life and be the best version of yourself, because all the power you need is in you, and go out and find your tribe. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate your time, and I hope I can connect with all of you moving forward.
Thank you so much, Nicola. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Are you able to turn off the screen?
Oh, yes, I can.
Thank you.
They say I'm a beautician, not a magician. I'm learning all this tech stuff. I'm getting there.
We're learning all the things. I think 2020 has just been such a big year for new things, learning how to do things that we didn't know how to do before, that we didn't have to do before.
Yeah, absolutely. I can resonate.
So that was wonderful. I'd love to open the floor for questions. But first, I've got a question for you. You talked about the fact that not everyone will be your customer. Can you talk to us a bit about that?
So just to clarify, I believe everybody could potentially be your customer, but I believe in attracting the best customers for your business. And to do that, you need to understand who your market is and who your audience is. And a lot of that I do through reports and looking at history as a teacher, and just kind of going back and analyzing what kind of clients are coming into, or guests, as I like to say, into our business. So depending what industry you're in, relatively, the world is your oyster. But I think starting off with which customers are going to bring you the most value. Somebody was speaking earlier about not, kind of teaching, I think it was Louise, teaching the customers just sometimes have to learn, and not always kind of being available for them. But so for me, obviously I'm attracting predominantly businesswomen and mums, and the area that we're in certainly allows for kind of your more middle to upper class guest. But I think starting off with which customers are going to bring you the most business and relate more to your business as a starting point. And I'm also a big believer in nurturing your existing database. I think so many people are looking for new clients, new clients, new clients, new clients, new clients. And although I understand the value and I can respect the value of a new client, I think if you just groomed your existing database and looked after your existing clients, you wouldn't necessarily have to go out and look for them. And just by actually asking your existing clients who know, love you already, who are like your raving fans, and asking them to refer a friend is so much less energy and work than actually going out there and marketing, just depending where you are at it in business. Obviously, we're well established with 20 years old, so we have a lot of repeat customers.
Yeah, that's such great advice. And I think it's so valuable. Instead of like, you just have to spend so much money in marketing to get new customers. Actually, what can you do with your current customers? How can you re-engage them? How can you connect with them? How can you ask them to be giving referrals? How can you provide more services for them? I think that's a really great strategy for people to be
totally, because otherwise you're kind of gaining 10, losing 5, then, you know, gaining 5 and losing 10. It's like you're never kind of evening out. But I find that works for me. Depends what business you're in. If you're an online shop, obviously you're always looking for new customers. But for us that's service-based, I think it's so important to groom your existing database and make them feel valued. There's nothing worse when you go somewhere and they say, if you're a new client, you get this. And you're like, well, hang on, I've been supporting you for 10 years. What do I get? So I hate all that. For new customers only, I hate that. I think it's tacky. And that's why I disconnected from Foxtel, because they were charging us so much money and then advertising half the price to new clients. And we called them and they said, oh, we can offer that to you. No worries. And I said, well, why do I have to call you and ask for that? Like that's, you know, but then that goes into your brand values and, you know, how you run your business as well. But I believe doing that kind of stuff catches up on you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got to look after your clients. They're the ones who've helped you get where you are.
100%.
Yeah. So I'd love to take questions from the audience. So we've got a few people here. Just wondering, Louise or Rebecca, did you have a question for Nicola?
For me, I absolutely loved your talk. You are such a natural.
Bless, thank you.
Absolutely. I would never tire of listening to you. I can hear that passion, the fire is in your belly, girlfriend. And I love kissing people's cards. And I told my family I want kisses all over my coffin. I'm a lipstick girl like you normally. But more so, not so much a question, but resonating with you, and especially with all my travels, what I'm hearing from you as well, it's all in the details. Those extra little things that you do that make it special for your clients. The way you'll fold that towel, or the way you said you give them that heat pack. It's that attention to detail that you do, and understanding your clients and their personal needs, you know, and hearing how you are really in tune with that, and not running specials and attracting quality customers who value you and your services. And gosh, I think that we should so get together. But congratulations, you are an absolute inspiration.
Oh, thank you. You're beautiful.
All those beauticians out there in the world, you're standing out from the crowd, and you are definitely, you should, if you're not into the teaching arena yet, you certainly will be.
Thank you so much, Louisa. I actually want to go into the speaking arena. That's really where my passion is. And like you, I resonate with you because I have an amazing team, which hopefully are watching now, but I have an amazing team who I've trained well, and I can step out of my business. So now I can go on to bigger, bolder goals. And as scary as that is, this journey, I've always wanted to write a book, always, but I thought, like, who's going to want to hear my story? But the more genuine I am about my journey, how I struggle with anxiety every single day, that's okay. How you overcome that. And, you know, how I struggled with depression as as a young girl and how I overcame that. And that red lipstick, and I think it was Rebecca earlier was talking about a facade. We all have our own little facade. And you know what? The red lipstick was my facade, but I faked it till I became it. And now I am that 40-something-year-old Estee Lauder girl, or, you know, and I just want to inspire, especially the younger woman. And if I could go back and grab, and I get really emotional, grab that younger version of myself and just say, you know what, you're okay. Don't let those mean girls put you down. And I see it with my daughter. She's 9 and she's struggling at school. And I just think, why are women so nasty? It's exhausting. We need to uplift each other because, like I said, we're Wonder Woman singularly. We're so powerful and so strong, but collectively we're unstoppable. People don't realize that. Women need to just stake us. And there's going to be those ones that aren't going to be on our journey. They're not going to be our people. And that's cool. Everyone stay in your lane. But I just want to encourage people, you know, get out there and find your tribe and let's just all do this crazy life together. We're all going through the same battle. So why is everyone trying to make out like they're not struggling? I tell my girls every day, I'm struggling with my anxiety today, but you know what? It's okay. I'm going to take a deep breath and we move forward because that's the reality. Everybody has anxiety or depression, and especially this year has brought that on. So, you know, let's just be kind to people and help them. I don't get it. I struggle with people who don't want to support other people, especially women, because we have guys and men. Luckily, I'm married to a wonderful man, but there are men breaking us down. Why do we want to break each other down? It's not good, and it's not good to teach that to our children either, because that's the next generation, you know?
Yeah, so true. And, you know, we're strong on our own, but when we're together, we can achieve so much. And having that support around us and other women encouraging us and other women we can reach out to for help, it's so incredible. And
it's fun. And you'll find, you know, I never wanted to ask for help because I was so scared people would be like, oh, well, she doesn't know that. I ask everybody for help, and you know, you'll be surprised, and certainly anybody can ask me for help, and I'm always open to doing the best I can because, you know, like, together we're unstoppable. And I know our little author group's been awesome like that. We've all kind of looked after each other, and that's why your vibe attracts your tribe. And I really believe that we're all aligned and meant to be here together. So thanks once again for the opportunity. In case you didn't notice, super excited.
Having you part of it, Nicola, it's been beautiful. And I think, you know, what you were talking about, when you ask someone for help, it gives them permission to ask you for help as well. I think the more people we ask for help, the more people we give permission to ask for help.
100%. And in the book, I actually write about how interesting it is because the people who are willing to give you the most help are the most successful.
Yes.
Because they all started somewhere, right?
Yes.
And I also believe that it's really important to have a mentor, whoever that may be for you, who you can bounce someone off. And trust me, it's not your husband, because my husband doesn't understand half of what I do. And that's cool. And that's why we stick together and we have this power of the sisterhood. And it's really great, but you just need to, and you're going to come across a lot of women that don't want to support you. That's cool. What they think of you is not your business. Move on. And the same with groups. Since we're all on social media, there's going to be some women's group that's just a bitch fest, sorry for a lack of a better word. Remove yourself. Find the ones that are the same as you. And, you know, I've got an amazing group I talk about in the book, the Spice Girls. And we went Bali when basically Scott Morrison said, get out, get back into the country. We got to self-quarantine. And we went through that whole lockdown together. And every day we met for coffee in the morning. We met for drinks at night, and we had themed evenings, and because we're all in self-quarantine, you know, before you had to go to hotels. And we had the best time. And those girls, they saw me ugly cry. They saw me anxious, depressed. And you know what? It was okay. It's okay to have a good, ugly cry sometimes, because that's what you need.
And I think it's so important to have a sisterhood like that, a group
totally
of women who you can just be your complete authentic self with.
And when the tears are rolling down their face, you can be like, come here, let me fix you so you don't look like Alice Cooper. I'll just wipe your mascara. Yeah. So my message is just be kind. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Someone's always going to judge you. And I struggle with that every day. I love to be liked. But what's the worst thing that's going to happen? They don't like you. So what? it's impossible to get everybody to like you, even if you're the nicest person in the world. So, you know, forget about those people and find your tribe.
Yeah. Now, I think we have a question from Danielle. Hi, Danielle.
Hi. So yeah, I'm Danielle. I work in domestic violence for women, and I created a free resource to help everybody in the community. And I just wanted to say, Nicola, that what you said really resonated with me. Like, as in, at the moment, I'm doing something that nobody else is doing, and it gets a lot of people on both sides. So it gets people going, wow, that's awesome. How can I help? And then I've got the other side where they just stare at me and go, how dare you like try and steal our funding kind of scenario. So I just want to say thank you so much, because that's really helped me see, yep, I need to stay in my lane, do what I'm doing, and not care with what's going on with those other organizations, but really concentrate on, you know, the women that I'm helping and what impact it's doing. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, because that's really helped me.
Oh my God, you made my day, Danielle. Thank you, and stay beautiful. And you know what, at the end of the day, lovely, you got to put your head down on that pillow. And as long as you can go to sleep every night and say, you know what, I changed someone's life, and you know what, I was true to myself and my values. And like, I know you're in domestic violence, and I can understand that must be really challenging. Like when we go to Hummingbird House and do treatments on the mum, and you see all these children and literally like they're going to pass. It's very sad. And one of the things I do, although in the early days I was a basket case most of the time, I just walk out there and be so teary, is it takes someone special like you, Danielle, to really give back. Not many people can do that. So you should give yourself a big pat on the back. But walking out at the end of the day and saying, you know what, I changed someone's life. This is not my life or necessarily my family or daughter. Like when I'm in Hummingbird House, right, I walk out and I thank God that I've got a healthy daughter, and it's not my life and my necessarily, I know this sounds cold, but problem. You dust yourself off and you say, you know what, I made a difference. And I think if we can each make a difference in someone's life every day, how powerful is that? That kind of energy has got to be catching up somewhere and be this like crazy spiral effect.
Yeah, so my story is a bit different. I'm actually a survivor. So I'm helping other women through it and other survivors understand that they can move into the next season and be okay. However, just some organizations, like, because obviously a lot of the organizations help victims. Nobody really helps survivors. So I'm in a whole different field, but obviously grants are hard to come by, and we're all fighting for that money. So I'm just a new, I suppose, competition. And some people are like, wow, this is amazing, we want to help you. And then others are like, no way, like, we're not helping you because you're our competition. So just from what you've said and the other ladies said about, you know, sticking together instead of not, it's been difficult in that aspect for me, because yeah, they don't want to, but understanding that I am in my own lane and that is okay.
Well, firstly, thanks for letting us hold space for you. That's very brave that you came on and said that. And I'm so glad that you sound like you're doing better now. And you know, I think what's also really important about being uniquely you is if something's happened in your life, and we've all had something bad happen to us. I'm very open about my anxiety, but when I was 15, and not many people know this about me, I actually tried to take my life and overdose. And it obviously wasn't my time, but I now want to be an advocate for younger women and say, you know, hey, look at me. And I was there, you know, I was put down, I felt unheard. And in South Africa, when we say hello, we say Sawubona. And then the person says back to you, Sawubona wena, which means I see you. And the other person says, I see you too. And I think what we need to do is say that to each other, not literally go around saying Sawubona, Sawubona. People be like, what? But I see you. And then saying, I see you too. And meaning I've struggled, but if I can share, for example, as well, I struggled through IVF, but if I can take another woman and give her encouragement with my story, then why wouldn't you do that? So thank you so much for being so brave, because I think that's amazing what you're doing. And you're absolutely right. Stay in your lane, because, and I think what this book has taught us authors is that we will all have this limiting belief of what are people going to care about what we think or say. But you know what, if you're just impacting one person's life, that's all you need. So thank you, Danielle, for saying I impacted you today, because that in return has impacted me. So here we go. I see you and I see you too.
Thank you. Yeah.
Connect with me, okay? I'd love to connect with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a very unique scenario going on at the moment, because a while ago, like, because I'm also a case manager, so I'm kind of a survivor, but I'm also like in the field as well. But it's a very unique time right now, because normally a survivor was told you can never work with domestic violence victims, and you can never be in this area because you will be triggered. So you wouldn't even be hired. You weren't allowed to be. But it's very unique right now, because the professionals are turning around and going, no, you know what, these women are they're the experts in this industry, and we should be asking their opinions and what's going on. So it's a very unique time right now in domestic violence.
Agree.
Yeah. But thank you.
Oh, that's my pleasure. Thank you.
Amazing. So do we have any other questions for Nicola before we wrap up today? So Nicola, how can people get in touch with you if they want to contact you?
So you can find me on Instagram, Nicola_intherapy. Also my business is on there as well, intherapy or intherapy.com.au. But if you want to connect with me personally, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, just my name, Nicola Lievre. You'll probably see all my red lipstick everywhere. I soon will be, and this is something very exciting that's happening as we speak, I'm actually going to be rolling out my own mini website, Nicola.com, where people can find me. And I'm hoping in 2021, I can really, be invited to women's brunches and things to speak, because I really want to inspire people with my story. And, funnily, I've always loved to be on stage. Even when I was a shy little girl, I loved it. And I just want to inspire people. And thank you, Danielle. If even you can empower just one or two people, that's what I want to do. So moving forward, I'm hoping 2021 will bring some exciting stories. But I'm available on Facebook if anyone has any questions. They can also, I suppose, put in the Facebook group, and I'll respond to that.
Fantastic. And you're open for any speaking opportunities that are out there. So
100%.
Yeah, very exciting. Well, thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
Thanks for having me
today and sharing all of your advice. And thank you to all of our speakers today. This is the end of our daytime session of day one, but we are back tonight for our cocktail party and launch. It's at 8 p.m. Sydney time, which will be 7 p.m. in Queensland and 5 p.m. in WA. So I hope that you'll all be back to join us for our cocktail party. Katie, did you want to jump on and say anything?
I just want to say what an amazing day. I just feel so inspired and amazed and honoured to have been here today and listen to all of your stories. And I can't wait to read the book.
Yeah. I like your red lipstick, Katie.
Well, thank you, especially for you today.
Everyone needs to wear bright red lipstick tonight, or pink lipstick. Challenge yourself. It will make you feel like a different person.
Yes, definitely. And yeah, I'm going to go and buy some champagne now. I'm excited.
Yay. All right, everyone. Well, it'll be the same link, but we'll meet back here at 8 p.m. Put on your bright lipstick, grab some champagne, and we'll do it all again. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone.
See you. Bye.